What's going on, Scorpio? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a phenomenal month so far. You'll see why I'm so excited in a second. But for those of you who are returning, oh, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I'm like really excited. I appreciate your subscription to see you, Scorpio. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Scorpio. And it keeps us going. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. Because let me tell you why, Scorpio, because it is Celestial News Monthly. I know, you're losing it. I get it. Take your time, recover. But Scorpio, when with this monthly spread, whenever the sun moves into a new sign, we're going to talk about where the planets are at and how we can work with the energies. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Scorpio. So I have a Zodiac oracle card for each of the I have an oracle card with each of the zodiac signs that the planets are in and the sun's in, and I'm gonna pull an oracle card from this deck for each one, and then we'll get some details with the tarot. You think as many times I said that I gotta have it down packed, Scorpio, but it's fine. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? Thank you. And in case y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below are some links for some other readers that I like watching Scorpio, so definitely check them out. One of them is a Scorpio. She's very intuitive, so definitely give them a look, Scorpio. I think you'll like them. But let's talk about the party that the sun is throwing in Virgo. But you got the sun that's going to be entering Virgo, and then Mercury is going to be going retrograde in Virgo. But with the sun, the sun's going to enter Virgo on the 23rd of August, and that'll be about 4 a.m. Eastern time, and we'll be there through the 23rd of September. And with this energy, Scorpio, this is really great for polishing your skills, getting organized, and of being of service to the community. Because Virgo energy is very detail oriented, very analytical. So as far as like the really polishing up your skills and stuff, and Virgo's a very very tactile sign as well. I feel like very good at working with their hands there. So something to think about there, Scorpio. But also when it comes to being a service to the community, I feel Virgo really does want the energy is about bringing out the best in stuff. You know what I mean? And whether this be in people, in a situation, whatever that's looking like. So, really this and with the more it's kind of being of service to the community, this could be something where we may think about taking up some maybe volunteering at a place, or maybe doing something where we're like cleaning up like the community, or maybe even like starting up your own type of thing there, Scorpio, getting like a group together and just going out there and just raising the vibration. So but also Virgo deals with routines, and it also deals with health there, Scorpio. But this is a great energy for establishing healthy routines as well. But then Mercury is going to be going retrograde on the same day as the sun enters on the 23rd of August, and it'll be retrograde to the 15th of September. And retrogrades really aren't that bad energy, Scorpio. They're a time of reflections, or of reflecting. But one thing you may notice with the retrograde is that, considering it's in the sign of Virgo, dealing with like the day-to-day jobs and things, you may notice delays on the job, or maybe even some missed deadlines. Technology gets a little wonky sometimes there, Scorpio, so kind of keep an eye on that stuff. And I always talk about with Virgo dealing with health, and this is not health advice, Scorpio, but this could be an energy to just kind of make sure that we are taking care of ourselves, whether that's getting enough rest, or, eating foods that making sure that, kind of that the body likes, that works well, that resonates with you. And, keeping stress levels down, anything along those lines there, a Scorpio. So just something to think about there. But it's also great for reviving any sort of like unfinished projects or anything along those lines there. Oh, and depending on where your Scorpio placements are at, this is going to be forming a sextile with your signs. And sextile energy is, after the trine, it is fortunate energy. It's very easy flowing, but the thing is, it's not very dynamic. You know, it's kind of passive. It's something that it's like if you've been, the example that I've been using, it's like if you get like you've been thinking about maybe moving to an apartment or something, or and like someone offers you like an opportunity, just like, hey Scorpio, you know, I heard you were looking for this place. I actually could use a roommate or something along those lines, and it's someone that you happen to know, and it's just like it's like operating in that window. You know, it's like you got so much time before, you know, maybe another person finds something else, or you know, it's like one of those things that's like kind of take it or leave it when it comes to say this potential essentially. So something to think about there, Scorpio. But let's get into your first card here, which is, looks like you might be a little busy there, Scorpio, because you got the eighth card of Taurus, your opposite sign, which is the Beehive card. And with this card, this is a card of diligent, persistent, stamina, application, tireless, mindful, hard work, devoted, fruitful, busy, conscientious, energetic, continual, harvest, endurance, effort, patience, and concentration. And the energy that's coming through here, Scorpio, is the tireless. And I feel we want to be mindful of that, especially when we're getting into, while we're in Virgo season right now. Because where I get if we have like a lot on our plate, you know, maybe we've been, but you know, if we have to work like maybe long nights at work, maybe we're doing doubles, you know, maybe we have like, or if we own our own thing, you know, maybe it's been like a lot of just a lot of stuff that's been going on here, Scorpio. And this could, and even outside of work, you know, maybe there's just like house things that are better adding up, or maybe apartment stuff, or maybe, you know, we got kids, you know, it's like the list can go on, Scorpio. And I do feel that where we all have like a million and one things to do, and sometimes we can get this feeling of there's never enough time in the day to rest, or whatever that's looking like. There is, because here's the thing, and this is not me trying to scare you or anything like that, Scorpio, where if we don't make the time, I feel like, to, you know, really get that adequate rest and things along those lines, and really push, and not even just for the physical, Scorpio, for your mental, for your spiritual, all those things. If one thing gets out of balance, the whole thing gets thrown out of whack. But if we keep pushing ourselves like that and don't make the time, and start the tower moment, you know, like create like a thing of change, then that's when higher self kind of comes in. It's just like, all right, well, we're gonna have to, like, okay, we're gonna have to put you in a situation, you know. And it's because I feel like higher self usually likes to keep not even usually, like all the time, likes to keep the tower moments more at our control here. But sometimes we need a little kick in the pants in this world, in this realm, you know, Scorpio, to get things, to sometimes get things done there. But yeah, just be mindful of really kind of working to your detriment here. I feel like just because you have maybe the stamina, the staying power, that doesn't mean that we need to expend it to its limits like all the time. You know what I mean, Scorpio? But let's get some tarot on this. Get some details. Let's see what's going on here, Scorpio. Interesting. All right, Scorpio. So you have the Three of Cups, the Six of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and then the Empress. And I feel like with the Three of Cups popping up here, Scorpio, especially if we've been just kind of just working really hard, if we find ourselves getting in this place of busyness, or anything along those lines, where again, I do get that we got things to get done, but we do need to make sure that we're checking in and see how we're feeling, you know. Get out amongst some friends, maybe go out and celebrate, maybe go grab yourself some tea, or whatever your beverage of choice is there, Scorpio. But either way, the Three of Cups, I feel like, could be a card of like of celebration and of abundance and things. And I feel when we work ourselves, I feel like with the Eight of Pentacles being here, when we work ourselves really hard, and it's it's almost giving me that sense of like that work hard, play hard type of energy where I'm with that, but when we're operating with those extremes, I feel that really at first it may be fine, but it just like it stretches and stretches, just like kind of throws you out of this balance here. And the Six of Swords gives me almost like this new way of thinking, whereas opposed to maybe instead of like working like maybe it's like just finding, I feel like creating bigger pockets for doing some self-care, doing some things that maybe go appreciating some art with, when I'm thinking with the Empress, or or just getting out in nature or something along those lines. Maybe maybe we're traveling somewhere, just think with the Six of Swords. But I mean, listen, Scorpio, the Empress is not just, she's not just abundant just cause, she's just sitting around. I feel that sometimes too I'm almost getting like a Five of Swords energy, where it's like we're comparing ourselves to like maybe like others make this thing look easy, and we're wondering why. It's like we feel like we have to work harder than others. And where I do, it's like like the tenacity. I feel like the heart is in the right place, but it's just like there still can be, there's this level of, I feel like, compassion for yourself, Scorpio. Like when we're pushing ourselves, and really, I just feel like just really being mindful of going to like to that getting to like this precipice or something along those lines, or getting push yourself to the brink is what keeps popping in my head here. But and I just mean like to the brink of exhaustion, Scorpio. But hmm, yeah. Let me get a little bit more with the Empress. Thank you. All right, Scorpio. So the Empress, interesting. All right. So the Empress is clarified by the three of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and then the Devil. And the Devil, Capricorn energy. Capricorn is a hardworking sign, and your ruler is actually in Capricorn right now. Your Pluto is, and I kind of feel, because I'm almost getting like a feeling for some, just considering that both your rulers were in Earth signs there for a while. That some we have been just kind of working real hard, just been kind of been pushing through, and not really thinking about just like it. There's, it's sort of like we've like for some it's like we've pushed like recreation to the side, or it's just like it's we can consider it like a splurge or something along those lines. And I just feel that the Devil here, it's like it's not that we're not putting in the work, but I just feel like there's a different way of putting it in there so that it's not getting to a, because maybe even for some there might be something we may not be dealing with. Maybe we're working this hard because, and that's something to get eyes on there, Scorpio. If there's things that we're keeping bottled up there, we're working through. This could be, and if there is something that's kind of been bugging you as of late, or that's been kind of on your mind, been affecting your just been affecting you. The Three of Pentacles is like we're, and the Three of Cups. This is the cards of collaboration. Maybe this is talking with some people. Letting even Empresses, need a moment to kind of unpack, and like just like where things can become a little too much there. But all right, Scorpio. An interesting start. Now let's talk about, since the Empress is here, let's talk about Leo energy, because she's been kicking it in Leo for a minute. Because Venus is going to be retrograde in Leo until the third of September. And with this energy going on here, Scorpio, this is a great energy for if we're looking for some things to kind of break away from, to kind of make more time for, this is a great energy for finding different mediums for your creative expression, you know. And it's great energy too for also building up your self-confidence. Maybe for some, we're working these tireless nights because we don't want to be like the one who lets people down, you know. You just want to be the one that's like that's like, we can rely on Scorpio, and where that's great, you know. Scorpio, you gotta show up for yourself too, you know. And you know, the another thing with Venus being in Leo is just like we want to be aware of any sort of like drama or anything. You know, I feel like that it's if yeah, just paying attention to drama as well. There, Scorpio, but also depending on where your Scorpio placements are at, this is going to be forming a square with your sign, and squares bring about, you know, more sort of like internal conflicts and things. You know, it's a little the energy is inharmonious. It can bring about it's I feel like it's the squares are to like how we were talking about with tower moments earlier. It's I feel like squares are reminds us that we can take action, and you know we can get things done. It's like the squares are like the indicators, like, oh, I don't like how this feels. What do I need to do to change that, to get things back in balance? That's what squares do. You know, I feel they remind us to keep that change is something that needs to keep happening. You know, it's so that we don't get in this place of stagnancy. You know, the achievements may be delayed, but there will still be abundance. You know, Three of Cups, Empress. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. But let's get some let's get some tarot on this, or get an oracle on this. Thank you. So you got the seventh card, Aries here, which is kerosene card. And with this card, this is a card of aggressive, accelerate, ignite, determined, fuel, encourage, sustain, powerful, stimulate, volatile situation, provoke, watch out, unpredictable, combustible, propel, and hot. And the energy that's coming through here, Scorpio, is the sustain and the hot. Interesting. And I feel like for some that there is this energy of, I almost feel like it's a sense of that we've been running more so kind of running hot as of late, you know, as far as like maybe we've been, for some it's like we've been really been kind of cranking, you know. And I'm just it's I feel that there's it's just like how I feel it's like some there's almost this question is like, how are we going to make this sustainable? You know, it's almost like where it's like we have work, and then we have class, and then we have our second job. It's like it's building up things along those lines. And part of me, it kind of feels like how can we rearrange this thing so that the energy is not just burning all the time, because it gives me like a combination, like a 9 of wands, 10 of wands type of energy, where it's just like if we keep running this hot, yeah, it's just it's an interesting energy that's coming through Scorpio. And let me get some tarot on this, get a little more details. Alright, Scorpio. Let's see what's going on here. Alright, Scorpio. So you have the Three of Wands, the Eight of Cups, the King of Cups, and then the Temperance card. And let's talk about the Temperance first, because I feel that the Temperance is a card of balance, you know, card of Zen. You know, the energies are flowing really well, things are feeling harmonious. But I feel that, you know, right after the Temperance is the Devil, and I feel that there is a need to kind of look at where there are some imbalances in our in our lives here, Scorpio. If they're what's preventing expansion. What are some things, and this could be just like, again, for maybe overworking. Maybe we've been, or maybe we've just been in our heads as of late. Just been kind of overthinking about. It could be a number of things. Just thinking about life. Just routines. Just all of this stuff. And it's I just feel like with the King of Cups here that maybe for some it's getting a little difficult to kind of keep this cool, or there may get to this point of where we may have some sort of like this sort of like facade on or something along those lines, but it's it's just like, is that really helping us out long term? Is there energy that's kind of strongly coming through here? But I'm also kind of getting for some others though, and that's interesting. There we go. So for some, I kind of even feel too though that there is this sense of like the energy is hot, and that there is a need to, interesting. I almost feel like it's like with the Eight of Cups, it's almost like maybe for some there's this opportunity to go, let's say for example, like if we're at our job and like something else like opens up, a chance for you to travel, to grow, to experience new things. I feel that there's a need, while this energy is, again, is hot, to go see where that's going. And then I don't know. It's like it's where it might feel a little different at first. We're adjusting to things. It's feeling a little out of whack, but it's just, I feel like as things timing, or as time goes on, there will be this energy of being, feeling like we're able to really kind of sustain whatever this maybe new endeavor that's kind of coming through here, Scorpio. But let me get a little bit more on the Temperance. Thank you. All right, Scorpio, let's see what else is going on here with this Temperance. There's a Ten of Wands here. All right, so we have the Eight of Wands, the Ten of Wands, and then the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles, this is working on towards your Empress energy here. And so I'm more so kind of getting the sense of there's a need to maybe remove some burdens here. I feel like with the Ten of Wands, things that are, I don't know, things that are maybe draining our energy a lot. That it's not as a, it's, I feel like it's something you where it's like there could be better use of your energy somewhere. And I feel like that if we follow that whatever that is, it's, the energies are going to start moving a lot more efficiently. Things will flow a lot faster. There may even be some like, I don't know. It's like, pay attention to the messages here, Scorpio. As far as like, if there are any sort of indicators that like this, I'm getting more so like a sense of pressure, or a sense of like needing to almost like kind of full energy jump into something like a newer type of situation. Or all right, Scorpio. I think I'm thinking that's a lot of energy there. I think I'm gonna move from that. But yeah, it's just something. There's a lot to think about there, Scorpio. All right, let's get these cards in order. All right, let's talk about your where your other ruler. Well, one of your rulers is Mars, because you got Mars that's in Libra, or that's about to enter Libra. Mars is going to enter Libra on the 27th of August and be there through the 11th of October. And with this is great for creating new alliances and strengthening any existing bonds that you have there, Scorpio. And you may be feeling more friendly or more thoughtful towards others during this period of time. Libra is a great energy for of diplomacy, and they really do have a way with words. Very charming type of energy, very fair, very balanced, and but we do want to be mindful of, because people, or because Libra likes to keep the peace. There's a chance of repressing our feelings, and then to kind of put our stuff aside just in order to keep that harmony. But we do want to make sure, that that we are being fair, not just towards others, but towards, that others are considering your energies as well there, Scorpio. And I think that's it with that one. So let's get an oracle on it. I love it, Scorpio. You're being efficient right now. I'm with it. So you have, and you're always efficient, Scorpio. And you have the 8th card of Cancers, which is the well card. And a little something to water down that heat. And with this is a card of deeper meaning, community, hidden emotions, nourishing, social resources, true feelings, support, savings, perception, sustenance, looking deeper, provided for, and consciousness. An energy that's coming through here, Scorpio, is the hidden emotions. And I do feel like for some, just when I was thinking about that Capricorn energy earlier, Capricorn, they do have a way of, they're the opposite sign of Cancer. My sun sign's in Cancer. And they do where they can turn off, their emotions, or, kind of put that stuff aside when they need to get things done. That doesn't say that mean that they don't feel, though. And I feel that the double-edged sword with that is that if we keep pushing stuff down, and there's certain things that we may be neglecting, then that stuff begins to fester, and it becomes more and more and more until it manifests a tower moment, devil moment, things along those lines. So I do feel like for some there may be a need to maybe kind of do like a hermit situation, kind of go within and kind of, again, just kind of check in with our energies. Have we been feeling, maybe even just been feeling upset as of late, maybe you've been running a little hot there, Scorpio, been tension's been kind of fly, you're tired, maybe working, but it is just kind of checking in and just really finding out the root of, especially if we've just been kind of especially if there's just been like a lot on your shoulders here as of late, Scorpio. And that's interesting too, that kind of came with that kind of got comfy on the 10 of Wands there, because I do feel like that for some there is this sense of maybe we're maybe not necessarily like, well, this one I feel like there's, for the first situation, it doesn't feel like it's a conscious effort to, it's just like we're just sort of putting stuff aside just at the moment. But this other energy that's kind of coming through feels a little more mindful, a little more thoughtful. It's like what we're maybe keeping hidden, it's like what we're keeping repressing. It's like it's we're doing things. It's not necessarily escapism in the traditional type of sense, is what I'm kind of getting here, but it's just tricky enough for the devil to be curious about what's going on there and find out. That's kind of what I'm getting, Scorpio. Like, and I hope that kind of made sense. But I hope that really made sense. But let's get some tarot on this and get some details. And Scorpio, you do want to be mindful because your sign is one that does feel the most intense. That's we want to be careful about keeping things repressed like that. Thank you. Let's get your see what's going. Oh, I love it. Oh, look at this, Scorpio. I love that this came up. Wow. So here's that Hanged Man situation we were talking about here, Scorpio, and the Hermit. So you have the Hermit, the Hanged Man, the Justice card, Libra. And look at that, you're singing up with the energies. And then you have the Three of Swords here, Scorpio. And this is what I'm feeling. There's something that's hidden here with this Three of Swords Hermit here, and I feel that there's a need to find the cause of this thing. Get down to the root. Really, kind of. I'm getting an energy, and that's interesting. It's like forming a relationship with these emotions that we kind of keep down here, because I feel like it's a tricky place for a water sign to not be feeling. It gets into a real weird realm where there is that balance of head and heart, that comes into play. Where'd your King of Cups go? Where the King of Cups here, in order to understand these emotions, or we have to allow ourselves to feel them, as and not to force it, Scorpio, as much as it makes sense for you. But I do feel like for when we do take these steps and do start working, kind of getting familiar with this energy, whatever this thing that's coming through here. I'm trying to, wherever the thing that we may be on our mind, or again that we're keeping suppressed, it's going to lead to this paradigm shift. But another thing too, or it's two things. So it's like it leads to this paradigm shift and get you to a higher vibration, because the hanged man Neptune is the higher vibration of the Empress Venus, and Neptune's higher octave of Venus. But the second thing with that is that Neptune energy deals with like that hidden realm, but also can deal with hidden enemies. And I don't mean like there's someone out there to get you, Scorpio. I feel like usually the biggest enemy of us all is ourselves, and that's where I feel there is a again, it's like connecting to the maybe that voice that maybe kind of keeps us, that brings us down, or that maybe has gotten us to where it's tireless. Now I'm even kind of getting even like an eight of or excuse me, not eight of swords. Well, yeah, kind of like an eight of swords, nine of swords type of situation here, Scorpio. But all right, Scorpio, I think I'm gonna leave that there. We'll keep that hidden for right now, but that's just it's just something to think about. All right, let's get a little more tea, and then let's talk about Taurus energy. Because there's about to be a big old retrograde dance going down in Taurus. Because you got Jupiter that's doing it, and Uranus as well. And let's start with Jupiter. Jupiter is going to be retrograde from the 4th of September and will be through the 30th of December. And with this, Scorpio, this really helps us adopt a more kind of practical approach towards our goals. If things haven't been lining up for so far, if things still are feeling this sense of feeling out of balance, or not quite having this control over something, Jupiter's making sure that we're building things of value. Whether this is new, I feel like new ways of oh, what was the words I'm looking for growth, whether this be as far as like again health routines, or maybe we're learning how to grow our own food, or considering with everything that's changing, or maybe we're learning to do more kind of like DIY stuff around like the house, or just in general, but yeah, it's just about thinking about those long term investments, and really, really, really being in that kind of Ten of Pentacles energy, and thinking towards how we're investing, what we're doing presently to invest towards that long term sustainable future there, Scorpio. And then you got Uranus that's going to be retrograde from the 28th of August through the 27th of January 2024. And with this energy, this is a cycle. Uranus deals with the future, with newness, with change, and this cycle brings us to embrace like novel ideas and how we can contribute to society, as well, because Aquarius energy also deals with the collective, and being of and helping others, find that sense of freedom and things along those lines. But also, you may notice, considering that Taurus does kind of deal with like the food finances, things along those lines, you may notice on a more global scale that there'll be changes in food sources and stock markets, the economy, things along those lines. So just something to think about there. But also, depending on where your Scorpio placements are at, this is forming an opposition with your sign. And oppositions are there. It's like these two polar opposites, trying to come together, and it's like, how do we keep one from not dominating the other? You can bring about challenges and conflicts, and we can deal with relationships. It's like either relationships or situations that bring about these decisions that need to be made, these changes that need to happen. So Just something to, yeah, another energy to think about there, Scorpio. But let's get to your oracle card. Okay. Thank you. All right, Scorpio, let's see what we have here. All right, Scorpio, so you have the third card of Sagittarius here, which is Crew card. And with this card, this is a card of in sync, esprit de corps, working together as a unit, team, leadership, co-create, pooling assets, camaraderie, gung-ho, forming alliances, partnership, and team effort. And the energy that's coming through here, Scorpio, is the gung-ho, and I feel that there may be a need for, I mean, interesting. I'm getting an energy of like feeling a need to be more kind of excited about something, that maybe things, just how we had like the Eight of Pentacles, we are talking about that tireless. I feel like it's like some things have gotten a little mundane, and that there's a need to kind of like shake things up a little bit, you know, so get something that kind of challenges you in a way, or like kind of pushes you towards a different type of direction here, Scorpio. But I'm even though getting for some others though that maybe for some we're being like maybe a little too overzealous, like as far as like going about doing. This could be even like a particular endeavor or something along those lines. It's like maybe if we don't have like a, let's say if we're starting up a business, for example, it's like we could be, it's like we have all these ideas and things, but it's just like there's still a lot of details that are can go into the mix. It's like it's like we're going in kind of just like kind of half baked is what I feel is like what's going down, or this kind of half cooked plan or something along those lines, Scorpio. So I do feel like we, you know, just definitely take it as it resonates. It's definitely kind of a mixed bag that I'm getting there with that. But let's get some tarot on this. Oh, and hold on, Scorpio, one moment. I am going to sneeze. All right, Scorpio, we're back. This has become like a trend. It's like at least once in like the videos. Thank you. All right, Scorpio. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh, then there's that Nine of Swords there, Scorpio. Interesting. So the energies. So we have the Four of Cups, the Six of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and the Ten of Swords here, Scorpio. And this is very interesting. I almost kind of feel with the Nine of Swords, there's this pressure of feeling that we have to be doing something, like, but not in like it's not like a want. It just feels like that. There's a stress that I feel like seems to be kind of coming here. That it's like, I don't know. It's for some. I feel like there's this energy of it's like we're taking on maybe too much. It's like that either there's this it's either we're taking on too much like either at what we're doing or just like staying this busy, or it's like even for some I feel like there's this like maybe for some it's like it's like others maybe like sharing a lot of thoughts with you or something along those lines, and now it's almost with the Four of Cups, it's almost gotten to this place of where it's like we're beat here or something along those lines with this Ten of Swords Four of Cups combo, and it's like it's very fascinating, Scorpio. But if that's something that's resonating with you, if it's just like we just like really have reached this kind of like again like this like breaking point or something along those lines, I feel there is a need to express this thing, share this stuff with someone. Try not to keep this energy like kind of bottled up here, feeling like we have to keep like I'm not. Let me get a little bit more on the Nine of Swords there, Scorpio. Interesting. Okay, thank you. So the Nine of Swords is clarified by the Ten of Pentacles, and I'm getting again with that Ten of Pentacles, with the Nine of Swords, is that there's some, like, maybe we're thinking about, it's like we're thinking about this. It's interesting. It's like we're thinking about the future and kind of stuck in the past with the Six of Cups here, and it's like with the Four of Cups, because there's this split in this divide. It's like we may be kind of, I don't know. It's like we feel like maybe we've been missing out on opportunities for things. It's like we can't seem to get ahead, and it's just been kind of like accumulating sword after sword after sword, and it's there's a need here, I feel, to kind of find the present moment again, to really kind of like, yeah, just as the something's been resonating, just kind of really, or if you find yourself resonating with this in the future, just figuring out how we can get the sense of balance, or not even sense of balance, but get this energy of, it's like we're very very much in our heads, is what I'm kind of feeling with this energy here, Scorpio. And if we stay there, it's like we were gonna miss out. It's like tied to one thing or another. There's all right, Scorpio, I think I'm gonna move out of that. All right, but you know what, this might kind of help out here. Let's talk about this Pisces energy that's going down, because you have Neptune, their ruler, one of the rulers in Pisces, and then you have Saturn that's in Pisces. Both are retrograde at the moment. Let's start with Saturn in Pisces, because that's going to end, the retrograde will end on the 4th of November. And with Saturn being in Pisces, this really is a great energy to get in touch with your kind of spiritual side here, Scorpio. Maybe kind of meditate on, I don't like. I feel like there may be a need for some to to work with this energy in the sense of like finding a way to like ground yourself. You know, consider you got Three of Swords, Nine of Swords. Now those are very intense kind of cards here, and I feel that things may be kind of weighing heavy down for some. Oh, hold on, I'm flat going back and forth, but it's is an energy for really getting in touch with that spirituality. And I feel like too, you know, where Saturn can be a planet of restrictions and time and things along those lines, I feel he's taken on a more kind of compassionate air. And I feel like that it's remembering too that things do take time, and that, you know, coming to those dreams, those coming to Ten of Pentacles and things like that, and manifesting abundance, it's it takes time, but it is being kind to yourself on this journey as well. You know, all these things that are happening to us, they're meant to teach us a lesson. And if you're at this place where, another thing with the Saturn and Pisces, if you're in this place where you feel that your dreams haven't been able to come true, or that we're not quite where we want to be along, we've been working kind of tireless, and it's been like, what's going on, you know, it's really asking ourselves those deep questions. Is this really the path that I'm meant to be on? Is this where my calling is going towards? And it's not me saying like to quit your job or anything along those lines, but it could just be maybe the reason that this thing isn't lining up here is because we've done everything we can with that, but now we have a little more time to do something else, Scorpio. I feel like there's a, again with the Hanged Man being here, like a certain epiphany or realization that can potentially be coming up here. But then let's talk about Neptune being retrograde in Pisces. She'll be until the 6th of December. And with this, Scorpio, Neptune, you know, the Hanged Man, it is very compassionate energy, very just very loving energy all around. So this is very wonderful. But the really nice thing, Neptune, like I think I was saying earlier with the Hangman, like represents that hidden and the mysterious. But now that she's retrograde, it's like the veil has been lifted, you know, like a curtain's been open, and now we can really kind of connect with Source, and maybe even deal with some of these more kind of hidden emotions that we might be kind of had tucked away, and maybe do some more kind of just more healing, and do some find some get some more opportunities for growth and things along those lines. Scorpio. So just something to Yeah, really something to think about there. And the nice thing about this energy too is depending on where your placements are at, this is going to be forming a trine with your sign. And trines are considered the most like fortunate aspect. You know, they bring about luck. You know, creates opportunities. It's very, very just harmonious, creative type of flow sort of energy. So yeah, definitely work with this Scorpio. But let's get an oracle on this. Thank you. All right, Scorpio. So you have the fourth card of Virgos here, which is the handcuffs card. And with this card, this is a card of control, defenseless, target, handicapped, held back, prey, suppress, need to break free, detained by external forces, applying force, incapacitated, submit, and feeling powerless. And the energy that's coming through here, Scorpio, is detained by external forces. And I do feel that where I get how situations can affect how we, you know, how things are going, Scorpio. I do feel that there is for some, a need to be mindful of how much power we may give to an external force. Like for example, if let's say we have like a real kind of toxic situation at our jobs, but the only way that we can get to something is that even fits our feel our fits what we're maybe looking for, is like the next town over, you know, got to get a new place and all these things like that. And so because we don't want to do all those things, we stay in the one situation, but then, you know, then it gets on that kind of loop there. And it feels like, how can we, if that's something that resonates with you, it's like, how can we get out of that loop, you know? And it's not that, and again, it's not to say that things aren't happening per se, it's just like, but what we may not be able to we may not be able to control external situations, but we can control how those situations make us feel, so that we can use those as indicators for fuel to take action. You know, I feel that try not to let it's like it almost gives me like let a tower moment, or things like really keep you, or a square or an opposition, whatever that's looking like, keep you from getting things done, or make it feel like it's keeping you shackled or restricted or anything like that there, Scorpio. But let's get some tarot on this. Alright, Scorpio, let's see what's going on here. Thank you. Alright, so you have the Fool, the Five of Wands, and then the Four of Pentacles here, Scorpio. And I feel like that if we have been feeling like, because the Five of Wands can be a card of conflict, you know, these external forces that may be kind of maybe been wreaking havoc here as of late here, Scorpio. And I feel like it's that, but it's remembering that even when those energies aren't feeling so great, when we're having to work maybe longer nights, or, you know, trying to get some things done, it's like this conflict is producing this energy for new change here. I'm getting a sense with like the Fool, and then how you have the Six of Swords here. It's like it's thinking towards the future, thinking towards that sense of like, yeah, I may have to go through this for a bit, but man, I'm gonna feel like an empress by the end of this. And I do feel for some it's being mindful too about feeling restricted about, I feel like, resources, for example. I feel that you, and it's, again, we could always use more stuff, but it's just like, how can we work with what we already have? I'm almost, is what I'm getting with this getting with the Four of Pentacles being here, and not really restricting ourselves to just like our the environment that we're in. Even for some, I feel like there's maybe a need to kind of even just like maybe kind of break free and find this sense of freedom and individuality, and yeah, very interesting energy there, Scorpio. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave that one there. Now let's get to your other ruler here, Pluto. Let's get some tea first. And then with Pluto, Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn until the 10th of October. And with this energy here, Scorpio, Pluto, Capricorn is about ambitions and achievements. And if this energy really asks us what success looks like for us, and if we feel that we're not in that energy yet, it's like, what can we do? What change? What work can we put in? Since you got Capricorn energy here, what work can we put in to get to this sense of abundance, get to the sense of success, of Empress, things along those lines there. But also it is tapping into like that Eight of Cups energy, Saturn and Pisces. If things haven't been, if some things have been holding you down, some devil situations that we haven't quite gotten temperance out yet, then it's figuring out what we can do to do that as well. But on a more kind of global sense, they may notice a shift in like authorities and things along those lines, so in governments and things. So may even be some power struggles there, Scorpio. Just something to be mindful of there as well. And depending again on where your Scorpio placements are at, and this one's going to be more so if you are towards like the later degrees of Scorpio lot. I think Pluto's going to retrograde to about the 27th degree and then start moving back towards Aquarius. But that's again going to be forming a sextile energy with your sign. So just something to pay attention to there. Your ruler's trying to hook you up. But let's get your last oracle card. Oh, I like that, Scorpio. Now we're making moves. You got the third card of Virgos here, which is the chess card. And that's what happens. Now we're breaking free and we're making money moves. This is a card of strategy, planning, checkmate, grand design, thinking ahead, tactics, moves and counter moves, master plan, course of action, power play, game theory, and consequences of actions. And the energy that's coming through here, Scorpio, is the planning. And I like that. I feel that there is this, overall, I feel like this energy here is a sense of kind of like just kind of slowing down and really kind of really evaluating some things, like thinking about like, is this the way that we want, like if we've especially been operating or find ourselves operating in like this, I don't know, this like kind of heavy sort of burden type of energy, or just like it's like a lot of our plate, or like again the weight of the world on our shoulders. It's like, what plans can we do to change that? Five of Wands energy, get to brainstorming to alleviate some of these conflicts, assuage these more difficult type of situations here, that so that we can make more space to see and appreciate the abundance that is around you here, Scorpio. No, I'm with that. Let's get some tarot on the mix. All right, Scorpio. Last little bit here. All right, Scorpio. So you have the Five of Swords, the Knight of Wands, and then the Magician here. And let's switch back over and look at that. Just thinking with got the Magician Mercury here, Uranus the Fool. You're really working towards your towards that higher octave. Uranus the higher octave of Mercury, but I feel like for some in this planning, or whatever this is that these next moves that we make or something, I feel there's a need to, for some, just like to consider the perspective of others, just with the, I feel like there could be something valuable there, maybe like a different idea, again, like a perspective that maybe we didn't think about, or something that really kind of helps us kind of manifest in a different kind of way, or something like that. But I do also kind of feel with the Knight of Wands here that there's for some others, there's a sense of needing to like pursue more type of like recreational things, or more some more things again to just like to balance out, especially when just kind of in that maybe kind of working energy or really kind of hustle energy, that there's a need to just make sure that we're balancing out some play or some fun, or working in something along those lines. And I feel like a sense of like maybe we feel that others may think about us some sort of way or something like that with the Five of Swords, but it's not, they don't have to go be on your journey all the time and have to work these countless hours if that's, that's something. Just something to think about there. But let me get a little bit more on this Knight of Wands. Thank you. All right, let's see what's going on here. Interesting. Okay, so the Nine of Wands is Knight of Wands is clarified by the Lovers and the Nine of Cups. And I do feel that there's some choices that need to be made, as far as just like you gotta go towards the vibration that you want to attract here, Scorpio, especially if we've been just not been if we've been feeling out of whack. It's like, what do we want to do? And then because it's like you got both the Nine of Cups and the nine of Pentacles, and I feel like it's not just being in the energy of just like, man, I wish that I could be in this place. It's like, okay, you have the wish, now let's take the action with the Pentacles and let's ground that. Let's get this energy moving here and figuring out what things that we need to leave behind. This could even be like, limiting thoughts or something along those lines there, Scorpio. But all right, I think I'm gonna leave that there. But if you like that, Scorpio, give it a thumbs up and share this. Just get you thinking about this month. It's seems like it's going to be very we just want to be mindful of a burnout and not really dealing with things, and very interesting energy here. But and to subscribe, you Empresses, hit that bell button to get notified of these videos each week. And then lastly, if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to my other channel, The Charity and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans, and it's a good old time. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, Scorpio, so I can get you out of here. Interesting. You got the Page of Cups here, Scorpio. And the energy that's coming through from some, I feel like there's an energy of really starting up something that you feel, that, that's interesting. It's, and like that, not even just something that you feel, but that's something that is going to get you to this, that's working towards this sense of fulfillment. I feel like we've been working on like the Ten of Pentacles, but it's like, what does our Ten of Cups look like? What is that like, that sense of like that fulfillment, that happy home, happy family, what that like, and then not to say that we're starting a family per se, but it's just like, what does that look like for you? There's something more. Let me get your oracle. Thank you. Interesting, Scorpio. All right, so you have the Waxing and Waning card in reverse here. And I almost kind of feel like with this, though, that kind of changes things. Just this is a little bit, Scorpio. I feel that yes, we want to operate and do things that we feel, but I feel like there's an energy of paying attention to how our feelings are waxing and waning when we're making these decisions. That we're not operating from this sense of that we're being like, I'm getting like a more proactive than reactive energy here, like especially since the last card was the planning, just making sure, and how you got gung-ho earlier, just before we jump into hot sustainable energy, we just got to make sure that things are in alignment here. There's some, definitely kind of check in with the energies here, and very interesting there, Scorpio. But I think I'm going to leave that there. So you stay safe out there. This busyness and things like that. Don't try not to burn yourself out there, Scorpio. There's plenty of time to get all this stuff there done, but there's, got to find some time for some recreation and keeping things that are, this is lot to think about here, Scorpio. You raise your vibration to the roof, especially, just if we've been just kind of thinking a lot, or whatever that's looking like there, Scorpio. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.